Welcome inside the locker room.
Smooth 98.1 is brought to you by Nine Mobile. Nine Mobile, here for you, here for Niger.
This is the Locker Room 981 as a part of Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Ayo Mairo Ese. Good morning, Lagos. Welcome inside the locker room.
And thank you, Tega. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Good morning. I'm
Good morning.
fine.
How do you feel about Anthony Joshua saying one thing and Luis Ruiz, Ruiz is saying another?
They'll all be all right.
To join the conversation this morning, send us messages through WhatsApp 0809
And on Twitter, we are at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981. On YouTube, we're streaming live, so please go onto our YouTube page, search for Smooth98.1. Tega is waving to you and saying hi. And of course, join the conversation. Use the live chat option to send in your messages.
Super Eagles coach Gunnar Raw recalled Leicester striker Kelechi Iheanacho on Wednesday for next month's friendly against Ukraine after he was dropped for the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt. The squad includes 5 other England-based players: Iheanacho's Leicester teammate Wilfred Ndidi, New Everton signing Alex Iwobi, Brighton defender Leon Balogun, West Brom's Semi Ajayi, and Stoke midfielder Olenekaro Etebo.
Yes,
This
so
lineup, eh?
Iheanacho gets the second chance. Just like Enoro got the second chance. But what it is the retirement of Igalo. It's going to unveil, expose a lot of Nigerians to a lot of people up front, because as it is, there is no replacement that you can just point to and say, oh, that's going to replace Igalo. What it is that Nigeria's national team is short on strikers. Not the country, but the national team. And so they're going to have to look for a good fit. And Genoro is, how would I put this politely? Genoro doesn't look at the local league. So he's going to invite all the forwards in front, and that means Kelechi Iheanacho is going to get a look in again in a team that on a normal day he wouldn't have gotten a look in without proving himself. So I think this is, like I said, this is his second chance. Get on the pitch, show that you are ready to take on the responsibility. You've matured a little. You want to fight for your place and you want to keep it. Otherwise, we're just going to be that striker's role is going to be a rotating door. People will be coming in and going out until we find the perfect fit. That's what it's going to be.
Okay, let's go on to some good news by our female basketball team. So the Tigress beat Congo and they've qualified for semi-finals.
What can I say?
Yay! Nigeria's women national team, the Tigress, continued their assured march to retain their title yesterday when they defeated Congo 79-46 to qualify for the semi-finals of the FIBA Women Afrobasket basket holding in Senegal. So although the Congolese team had tall and athletic players, the Tigers had a fairly easy ride, winning by a 33-point margin.
Yes, so that's what we're doing in Senegal, thrashing people. We are not even competing with them. It's not a competition. It's not a rivalry. We're not even playing the game. We're just thrashing teams. And I like the fact that they're having, for different games, different people step up. So it's not like there's one major player. You say, oh, that's everybody. If you have a bad day, don't worry. There's somebody else that will step up. This time it was Ezine Kalu, that was the player of the game. So you're looking at this FIBA team, and yes, I know a lot of all foreign base, and
that's not good.
But that's what we have.
Wait,
your basketball federation, they don't even have president though, because they're still fighting. There's Musa Kida and there's Tijanuma. There's no real out and out president. Then their team still travel by bus to Mali. So this one that we just said that we're going to go abroad and bring a whole team from we'll manage what we have. And what we have is very good apparently in Africa. Look at it. And like I said, it's not that they're outscoring teams and stopping teams from scoring them. And it's not like they're the most physically dominating team on the planet. It's just that they're better technically and tactically, and I can brag now because
Brag,
you know
brag.
it's the women's basketball team
just
just doing all sorts of damage in
Yes.
Senegal. So I can't wait to see. I think they would be able to. I don't want to get cocky or carried away, but they're looking like they're going to go all the way and defend their championship. Where I will be a little humbled is when we go on the world stage. But for now, bragging rights,
Let's
baby.
brag.
Okay, so we're done with the Tigers. Let's move on to Anthony Joshua. Unified World Heavyweight Champion Andy Ruiz Jr. says that he has not signed to fight Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia and hopes their rematch is in New York. The 7th December rematch in Saudi Arabia was announced on Friday, and Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn told the news conference on Monday it was signed. Ruiz did not speak or post about the bout on social media until Wednesday. The 29-year-old said, and I quote, "I have not signed anything yet. We are negotiating everything." When he was asked about the Saudi Arabia contest, he said, "They want to do it there, but we have to see where we negotiate with my team. I would like it in New York again." Different options, different choices.
Well, good morning,
Is it
everyone.
by force to come and fight where you want me to fight?
Look, this thing it's funny that we're getting conflicting narratives on this, but I think what's clear is that they're determined. The Joshua camp is determined not to give Ruiz the opportunity to have home court advantage in New York. You know, that's what's clear. Ruiz has managed to take the UK out of the equation, so now the Joshua camp wants to make this neutral.
Yeah. And that's only fair.
Well, not depending on what side of the divide you're on, you'll probably say no. He's the unified heavyweight champion. He may not have the pulling power and doesn't have the face to get 40 million odd USD and all of that stuff. But look, when you're the champion, you usually tend to have a say in where these things go. Ultimately, they're going to get a compromise. But you see, all of this feeds into like a distraction that the fighter himself, and I mean Anthony Joshua, does not need. He's in this battle at the moment trying to figure out his venue. He's in this battle with Lennox Lewis, calling him a clown and things and stuff like that. All of these are not the sort of things that he needs at the moment. He needs to have a Zen moment where he's focused on reclaiming that belt without necessarily creating too much pressure on himself and unnecessarily focusing the spotlight on him. You know, the news around him for me at the moment is for all the wrong reasons. Fighting with a legend of British boxing in Lennox Lewis. This whole thing about venue or not venue and all of that stuff, all the wrong reasons. Focus and deal with trying to achieve your goal of retrieving your belt. Wherever the venue is, it shouldn't matter. What should matter is the outcome which you want.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. Hopefully no distractions and we can get the show on the road.
Emeka from Sierra says, "Please, why can't we use our goalkeepers from the Nigerian police force?"
Emeka, mind yourself.
Uche from Ikeja says, "Good morning, guys. Why can't Osimhen replace Igalo?" Questions. Chimobi Victor says, "Kudos to the Tigers for all their exploits. They are one of the teams to reckon with in the African basketball."
They are the team to reckon with, not one of the teams. All right, let's go to tennis now. And I don't know if this is tennis or let's go to Hollywood. Which one? Let's go to few matches.
It's a mix of both.
So Nikira smashes rackets in Cincinnati Masters to Karen Kachanov. This man is something else. Someone should,
What's his racket?
So Nikira left court to smash 2 rackets in a bad-tempered Cincinnati Masters defeat by Karen Kachanov, after which he called the umpire a tool. Later on, yesterday, Kyrgios was fined £93,254 for 5 separate incidents of unsportsmanlike conduct. Anyways, let's just
you have to understand. But again, this thing was happening about past 3 a.m. Nigerian time, so you can understand that I was trying to watch and I was trying to sleep, and this one reawakened me. But what it is that Nikirios was spoiling for a fight from the very first moment. This one was not about towels. The towels were ready.
Were they white?
And they were white. They better be white. So Nikirios is coming. Better have.
Oh yes,
better have a roll of white towels waiting for him. But he was spoiling for a fight. Apparently, I have come to learn that this same umpire was the umpire he fought with in Queens. So I'm sure as soon as he just like, my guy, customer. So he was looking for that fight, because even before any major calls or anything happened, he'd already started throwing some tantrums and making some snide remarks without anything really happening. So at first I thought it was a distraction tactics against Hachinov, but I also know that Hachinov is, again, you know what I say about these Russians. If you like, be killing yourself on your side of the net, as long as it doesn't affect their space, they will not move. So I'm sure, because he knows the kind of guy he was, he knew it wouldn't bother him. But what it is that he was spoiling for a fight, and so struggling during the game itself and struggling against Hachinov made it even worse. And then he comes to the game and he's shaking his head, he's throwing a tantrum, and the umpire says, you know what, clock has started counting down. No? If better come and play your game. And then he complained that the umpire is starting the clock a little too early. And the umpire says, no, this is how we start the clock. This is what we are going to do. Then he misses the point. Then he smashes his racket off court, so as if it is still, once you smash the racket, as long as you are playing, if you smash it off court on the side on the advertisement board, all of it is going to still get you a punishment. So
what if you smash it on your own head?
Still punishment. In fact, that's double punishment, because now you have suicidal tendencies. They are going to fine you, suspend you, and then send you to the hospital under security watch. So it was just a lot of things. What it is here in that people are asking the ATP, when do you draw the line? Because it's one thing to say, okay, this guy's head is not always in place, this guy's head is touching, but when do you draw the line? They have suspended him before. But at this point in time, what is going to be the extent of the suspension? And what can we do to deter this kind of behavior? Because it's getting a bit too much. And so, people come and say, okay, we're coming to watch Nick Kyrgios, we're not only coming to watch tennis. But and it's fun for a while, but when it's every time, it becomes a problem, and so we need to sort that out. But what it is that he also has people that the ATP respects, that speak for him, people like Roger Federer, people like Andy Murray. Those are guys that I don't know what it is. Maybe he has a black folder on them, but regardless of what he does, they will say things like what Brutalistic said now. Is it not his racket that he smashed? Think about it. Roger Federer had the gall to say, but he just threw a chair. But when it was Serena, he said, why wasn't she patient? Yeah, exactly. And Roger Federer is somebody that carries weight. Unfortunately, he has carried his weight and been knocked out of the tournament by Rublev, but he carries some kind of weight. Yeah. So Nick Kyrgios is friends with the right people who would speak for him and who now have position on Players Council. But
look, to be fair to Kyrgios and Federer and co, I think why they haven't determined the extent or the kind of punishment they're going to give him is they haven't quite figured out what kind of tool he is. I think they're researching at the moment. When they finally, you have to find a solution, you have to identify the problem. So when they've discovered the kind of tool he is, then they'll be able to prescribe the kind of medicine he requires.
I hope he will not end his tennis career earlier than he should because of his bad behavior.
You know what the problem is? He wins and he makes money. You see,
and then gives away the money to Anga.
No. He makes money. That money that he gives away to Anga is tight. It's not even tight.
It's 130 something.
It's pocket money.
I'm going to tennis. Sorry. I do not know the what? Nothing is impossible. If your mind can conceive it, you can achieve it.
Okay, leave her. It's money. It's inspirational talk.
Thank you.
And that's why talk is cheap.
We're gonna stop talking now and take a break. We'll be back after this. Come on.
What? I was even sorry for him. That money is small money.
That's CM.
Wait, let me read the amount for you again.
There are
$113,000.
there are two ways they make.
$113,000. Sorry, but
Spoil it.
Nine Mobile Experience Center.
There are two ways they make.
beats me like me curious. Smash racket on my head. Smash laptop on my head.
There are two ways they make money.
She's preparing for her
See,
tennis
Thank you. I am.
You know he's endorsed from his head.
Who endorses him?
From the crown of-
Really bad behavior.
Oh boy, the guy they play
There's
tennis.
an
So
image for that. There's
There's
a
an
market
image
for
for
that
that,
kind
you
of
know.
bad boy in the behavior. There's
From
a
maybe
market
they're
for
even urging him to do more.
he's endorsed from the crown of his head to the soles of his feet.
Here for you.
His teeth is endorsed. He has one gold teeth.
Nine Mobile.
Don't try him.
Studio.
Here for 9.
And we're back. All right, now we can be nicer and be less sarcastic. Tega and Brutalistics in the studio. We're talking sports inside of the locker room. Thank you for joining us in Smooth 98.1.
All right, we have comments. George from Aja says, "Good morning, guys. Hello, George. Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua don't really care about their fans or boxing. Everything is money to Eddie and AJ. Take Andy Ruiz to the US or Timbuktu and beat him up, then we'll start respecting you. Leave money and pay Ruiz."
I don't like why he say we. Some of us already respect the guy. I don't know why you keep saying we. Are we speaking French? Why are you saying we?
Yemisi from TBS says, prior to the Chelsea player taking the last penalty against Liverpool, I already knew that he was going to miss the goal. The man looked so much out of sorts, like somebody who had already drank Ogogoro. Wow.
Okay, we don't tolerate that on Money Radio.
It's Fela Drote in the studio. Brutalistics, please give your voice again. They say you're Fela Drote.
Sure.
It was then I read an author actually. Yeah, you sound like a statesman.
It's your headphones.
Perhaps-
Remove your headphones.
Yeah,
No.
it's a headphone.
They're probably talking about you when you were starting those inspirational thoughts.
Quite possible. Quite possible.
Nice
Those dreams.
one. Oh, because he was laughing. Thank you, Ade. When you see me at Wimbledon, you tell me. Ugo Bombia says, from what you said about Curious' relationship with someone like RF, I hereby conclude that Nick takes RF to those places at night and arrange better things for him. We do encourage violence.
Biggie here says, our Tigresses are devouring other players. The margin is too much. Tega, what is happening to Nick and is associated to village people? They are behind it.
I agree. It's subtle.
Wow, this one is long.
Oh no, this is even okay. Thank you, Femi. We see your comments, but that's freshly pressed at 7:30.
Thank you very much. Now, Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp compared Adrian to Rocky Balboa after the standing stopper made a match-winning penalty save against Chelsea to win the UEFA Super Cup in Istanbul. What a story, Adrian, like Rocky, Klopp said. I do not know where he was 2 weeks ago when we were playing Manchester City, Klopp added in the post-match press conference. He continues, says, when I spoke to him for the first time, it was clear he would take time to get fit, but he has to be fit now, and he is. He's already shown me he's a proper personality in the dressing room as well. He was maybe even louder than I was at halftime.
But, look, you can understand why. That is, look, when it comes down to penalty shootout, and for a guy who probably hasn't had time to A, get a decent preseason in, B, even study perhaps if the penalty takers from Chelsea, and then when you have somebody like Tammy Abraham, who you probably haven't seen a lot of doing it, but that said, that penalty was probably quite poorly taken, in my opinion. But more to the game, I think that Frank Lampard probably received sense post the Manchester United game, because he changed his lineup and played with people that have an idea of what it is like to play at that level, and with experience makes a heck of a difference in the outcome of a game. And you could see that from the way Pedro and Giroud carried on with the team. They were crisper. There was a little bit of that intense pressing that Lampard seems to like in and around the midfield. And perhaps, should we say that Liverpool themselves, I don't want to diminish the Chelsea performance, but it almost felt as if Liverpool did not bring themselves to the party at a level that perhaps everyone expects them to be. There were quite a few mistakes. There's some sort of lackadaisical attitude displayed. There's a school of thought that game could have been over a lot sooner if Liverpool was Liverpool as we expect them to be. Perhaps that also provided context for the excitement of the game. 2-2 and then the penalty shootout. It was a good game overall. Could it have been better? especially from the Liverpool side, I think so. This is a recurring thing. This is the second game that they've played where they haven't, or the second or third game that they've played where they haven't really been at the races. They're going into the Premier League game now. I think it's against Southampton.
Who are very happy that they played extra time.
Hopefully, they will get a chance to play at a level where they need to be, because make no mistake, if they have aspirations to be competitive for this Premier League, every single game from now makes a heck of a difference.
Absolutely.
And if you drop points, if you lose a game, not only will people start looking at your capacity, they will also raise questions about why Liverpool did not dip or immerse themselves as people thought they should in the transfer window, and all sorts of questions about the ability to sustain that their title aspirations will be brought to the fore. But overall, a good performance from Chelsea.
I was going to say that brutalistics, I agree that Liverpool didn't quite bring their A game. However, I think you're underplaying that Chelsea also stepped up.
But I said so now. I said so.
You just did not said so much. Sorry,
It's only 45 minutes.
Make no mistake.
Yeah.
While there was a marked improvement in Chelsea's performance,
yes,
I still believe that they will have some good performances in the course of this season.
Yes,
but
I agree.
overall, it may be a bridge too far for them.
Okay.
All right.
A bridge too far.
That was a good one.
Look at Emma in the building.
Let's take Emma's message now that we're at it, because this is too much now. Emma from Akoka says, in the updated alphabet, A is for Adrian, L is for Lampard.
Hey,
They put up a verified
they
chart.
did.
Just sad that the fans do not believe Abraham's blessings are there.
When I saw that boy, I knew I was going to miss that penalty. Alright, let's go.
We'll go from VI. Wow, from sight. Okay. Liverpool are yet to give me a decent 90 minutes play in all the 3 games I've watched this season. That's what Ugo says. He continues to say, Nottingham versus City, not versus Norwich, not versus Chelsea. Okay.
Yeah.
They need to up their game. I beg. This is not a team I'm used to. Just good that they didn't lose at any of those games, at least not during regulation time.
Don't worry, they have Arsenal at home very soon. You'll see their age.
Very funny. All right, Barca won't risk Messi versus Athletic. Valverde. I'm so says Valverde.
Yeah,
Barcelona.
Valverde.
Barcelona coach Ernesto Valverde says Messi will not be risked for the Spanish Champions La Liga opener against Athletic Bilbao on Friday. That's today. So with the Argentine not being included in the squad list, we don't take risks with any players. So especially not with Leo. Valverde said in a news conference on Thursday.
Okay,
I'm laughing because it's such a prized possession.
He has a hamstring injury. You don't want to risk him.
Yeah.
You have a long season to go. You have many competitions, and you're hoping that this is just that season. You get it right, and you prove to everybody you're not just a figurehead with a good team, which is what you really are. But he's right, and he does have players in his squad that ideally should win matches without Messi. I say this all the time. You look at the Barcelona squad, and if you put me in charge of that team, maybe I'm putting myself out there, but let me shoot my shot. Put me in charge of that team, and we will win games with or without Messi. But Valverde's go-to role is, let's have Messi on the pitch. He'll bring magic. He may not play for 85 minutes, but give him 5 minutes and he'll bring some magic. And that's Valverde's plan A, B, C, and 2F. To Z. So it's not the most effective or efficient of plans, but what it is that the guy has an injury now, and this is start of the season. You'd rather have him when the dog fight is really dirty, as opposed to now that there are games that you can get away with. And so it makes sense that today you will not see Lionel Messi, but the Spanish La Liga starts today. We can't wait to watch. I'm waiting, for the Italian Serie A, because Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't had a good week this week.
We're about
Yes.
to get into
Yeah.
that now.
So get into that story. He
All
has-
right.
Mm.
And this one, precisely, let's talk about this. Virgil van Dijk, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, both, well, all nominated for UEFA Player of the Year award. Now, UEFA has also released a shortlist for the Women's Prize with England's Lucy Bronze on the list after her Champions League win with Lyon and a successful run to the World Cup semi-final, where she claimed the silver ball for being the second best player of the tournament.
Okay, this is ridiculous now. This is a reach. No, it's a hype for Lucy Bronze. I'm not even going
The
to.
last time you complained, Tega, the last time there were
I'm so
nominations like
glad-
this,
It's a
I'm so
hype.
glad you're speaking my.
No.
Alright,
But
go
see,
on
what
then.
it is Lucy Bronze is, again, the British have pushed their player to our front and they're saying we should take her. This is the UEFA Player of the Year. If we're counting, we first of all, we have to look at all that they did in Europe. Then we have to even look at the English team. And then you're pushing this lady to us and saying that this is one of the best in the world. You're not telling me this. I am here to buy fish. You can't sell me lizard.
What if-
I'm done.
What if she's the local champion?
She's
Where
not
she's
even a local champion where she's coming from. Is she as good as what's her name? The striker now. Oh, the English striker. I'm looking at her name. I'm looking at her face, but I can't remember her name.
We can see
But
it though.
I will get there eventually. But the English striker was clearly the best in the team. And then you're telling me about Lucy Bronze. I'm sorry. There's no planet in which you can put Lucy Bronze, Ada Hegerberg, and Amandine Henry in the same sentence. It's blasphemy. We can't take it. On the other side, for the UEFA Player of the Year, I'm looking at that list, and I still say again, and I know some people are going to wear their capes. You can come at me on at Tega Supreme on Twitter, and I will shove your emails into tega@idon'tcare.com. I still don't think Cristiano Ronaldo should be on that list.
Can you repeat that address?
Tega@idon'tcare.com. Again, I'm looking at what they did. I understand Messi to an extent. He was the highest goal scorer in Champions League. Virgil van Dijk, I definitely understand. He won the Champions League. But I need to see another Liverpool name there. And some people will be conflicted maybe between Salah or Mane. I'd say Mane because he puts a lot into the game. I'd like to see his name on the list. And this is not talking about Africa or racism, but maybe there's some Africa, discrimination in this. He should be. I'm just saying, not happy with the list.
No, we don't like to mention that. We don't like to bring or whip it up.
When your calf is not doing his work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They should be the ones challenging these
FIFA is in
things.
charge of CAF.
Oh, FIFA is in charge of CAF now.
Yes.
That's why. Okay, yes, CAF through FIFA
Where's
is doing their
Amadi
work.
Pinnick where we need him?
Imagine that they've removed.
He's busy.
Wow. Final story,
All right,
please.
our final story from for today before we go. Sen Dyke says Burnley need Sean
Sean Dyche.
sorry, I didn't see it properly. I'm so sorry.
It's
Sean
all
Dyke, I beg your pardon. Says Burnley need luck to end Arsenal record. Sean Dyke claims Burnley will need a little bit of luck if they are to end their woeful record against Arsenal this weekend.
Look, they haven't had the best of records playing at the Emirates Stadium. It's going to be a game where there's going to be a lot of hard graft, physical performance on the part of the Burnley team. The Arsenal team, probably Unai Emery hasn't gotten his balance right. He still has a lot of his new players he's trying to bed in. It should make for a game. Mesut Ozil is back. I think Kolasinac post their security incident. They have a rich vein of a rich pool of talents to pick from, and they should be able to get a good performance. But it's Burnley; anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Thank you very much. What's going to happen now is we're going to switch lanes in a bit. Top of the hour, we get to talk for a Feel Good Friday conversation here on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Ayo Mairo Ese.
And special thanks to Tega Supreme on Twitter and at LIS International for activities of ladies in sports. And we give special thanks to Uncle Bru himself.
Oh, that name came back.
Brutalistics. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
And all the while I've been checking YouTube.